Is it visible now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So this circuit I have discussed already in the previous class, like how this circuit is working. And today we are going to implement this circuit diagram using some tool, that is multisim tool. Okay. And we are finding out the frequency response of this uh, JFET. So here FL, FH. So something this kind of frequency response will be getting with respect to this JFET. Okay. So without wasting much time, we shall start with the. So my aim is to obtain the frequency response of JFET. So what is the aim of the experiment here? So the aim of the experiment is to design and set up in order to plot the frequency response of JFET or MOSFET and making them to work as a amplifier. Okay. So what is the aim here? Design
And plot
design and
JFET or MOSFET.
design yes, Ritesh, you want to say something?
No, sir.
Okay, so design so this is the aim of the experiment, what we have to do. I hope it is clear. Okay, so design the setup or the circuit and plot the frequency response of a common source JFET or MOSFET amplifier and obtain the bandwidth for it. So here we are using JFET, not a MOSFET. Okay. So before we start with this, I shall start up with the tool here. So for this we have to install the tool, multisim tool. And once we install the multisim tool, we'll be getting this kind of dialog box. And we have to, it's a pirated version. It is even available on the net. You can download this, or you can even, if you are free, you can come to me and you can take this software from me. Okay. So click on evaluate. Your software will start operating. Wait for a few minutes. The tool here is getting open. I hope the tool is now open here. Okay. So here you can find out, please look on to my cursor, where I'm moving here. So you can see here there are different menu bars here, or you can see this tool bar, that is file, edit, view, place, MCU, simulate, transfer tool. So this is a tool bar. Anything help you need, you can go to help and you can check about a multisim tool here. Okay, so this is the help menu which is available for the any information which you need for implementing the circuit diagram. Then the main tool what we are working here is with file. So you can see here file with some option, that is new, open. So new is to create a new file or to create a new design. Open is to exit open is to open the existing files which are already created, and open sample is the same again. You can close here by using this option. So once you design anything, you can even save it by using save and save as options. Okay, so you can, by pressing exit, you can exit from the tool. Okay, so this is what here. Then edit. So edit window is there to select the circuit diagram and to edit the content whatever is necessary here with respect to the file or with respect to the design. So view and zoom options are there. So many zoom in, zoom out. All these options are again available on this second toolbar. Okay, second toolbar, which is just below the first one. I'm just moving the cursor. You can see here. This is the second toolbar, and place component. So place component is the option wherein you'll be using this option to place the components, different components required for the preparation of the circuit diagram. Okay, so remaining options we shall discuss as we go on, moving with the further things here. So whatever the important part is there, I have told here already. No, you can just check here. This is the zoom option. Once I click on it, your screen will be zoomed. Zoom in. This is zoom out, and this is zoom in. Okay, so you can even have a option of zoom fit, like means to zoom or to do the content, change the size of the windows. You can use this option. One second. So here I'll be closing all the existing design, and I'll be going for a new design here. You can check. Here I have given a new design. Then the window bar is available here now. Now these are the zoom option. Here there is a open file, save file, and here there are different components, and also these components are available like resistor, diode, transistor, gates, and ground terminal, ICs, different types of ICs, connections, and battery source. All these options are available here. You can see the third toolbar just below the second one, and similarly you can see this, all the components which are existing in the taskbar here are also available in the component list. Okay, you can see here, go to place and just click on component. You can find different kind of components here, or different varieties of electronic components. So whichever component is necessary, you can just click on it, and you can use it for the purpose. Then at the right side of this window, you can see there are different options here available. So you can see there is a multimeter, there is a function generator, there is a watt meter, oscilloscope, 4-channel oscilloscope, single channel oscilloscope, and board plotter. Okay, so even you have a logic analyzer, function generator, function counter. All these options are available here. So we will be keep on using these options as and when necessary for building up the circuit. So I shall go on briefing the things whenever I am using any new components. So this is the hierarchy here. If you click on the hierarchy, you can see how many designs are available here on this design toolbox. Okay, toolbox. That is, if there is one design now which is already opened on the screen, so here it will be showing design 1. So if another design is available, then it will show the history of all those designs which are available. Then visibility. What are the visibility components here? You can see here. This is a these are the things which are visible here, like text can be written here, graphics can be used. This is a project view. Okay, project view means it will view the project what you have designed. And right now we are into design part now. Okay, you can see here we are working on a design. Now after this there is one more this thing you can see here. There is results, result box or result tab is available at the bottom part of the left side corner, you can see. Okay, so result is there, means whatever the result you are getting, that result will be there here. You can click on it and you can check nets. Then different, like a spreadsheet of this design will be available here by clicking on the nets. And components, what are the components you have used here, all that list will be shown. Then simulation part, copper layers are nothing but again different types of components what you are using, all the entire history will be available here. Then simulation is what, once you complete the circuit diagram and if you start simulating it, whatever the result is getting is again available in the simulation part, or you can view the simulation result there. So there is one more tab here, you can see, that is in use list. In use list means what are the components we are using here to build the circuit, okay. So these are the few options here. You can see there is 0 and 1 switch at the right side of the corner, which is nothing but which is used to switch on and switch off the oscilloscope. Now let us begin with the circuit diagram here. Okay, so first thing is what, I want to build up a circuit diagram, that is JFET circuit diagram. So for this I'll be using BFW10 or BFW11 as a transistor, okay, or the JFET. So I shall go to the place and component. Then here I'll be finding out a JFET here. It's a N channel JFET. I'll be clicking. Then you can check with BF. Okay, BFW10. Okay, so it is available here. You can just click on it and place it. Okay, so you'll be available with the component here. Then click on any of the part and place it. So BFW10 is now available with the tool in the design layout. Now after that I need some resistors and components, capacitors. So I'll be going to this place component again. You can even go here also. There is a small resistor like symbol at the left side corner. You can even click on it and go to place component. So here we'll be going for some basic components which are there here. You can click here and you can see here some registers are available. Basic, yes. So once you click here, you can see there is an option called as register here. I'll click on it. So what is the value of the resistor I need? I need 1 mega ohm. So I'll be typing here 1 mega. So you'll be getting that. Select it and place it. Okay. So place somewhere here in the circuit diagram. So I have already placed. Now if you want to rotate it, select it and right click on this. You can go for clockwise rotation. So this is one resistor I have taken. Then I need one more resistance at the emitter terminal. So I'll go here and I'll place a resistor. So this resistor is of 330 ohms. I'll type here 330 ohms. Then click on OK. Place it. So if you want to rotate, select this with the help of mouse. So this got selected here. Right click on it. Then rotate counterclockwise 90 degrees. So you can place it like this. Now after that, I need one more resistance. So I'll just click on place component, select a resistor here, type the value. So I need 1K here, 1 kilo ohm. So I'll just click on it. OK. So place this. I want to rotate it, select it counterclockwise, select this and place here. I need one more resistance as per the circuit diagram. So I'll click on resistor. Then I need this resistance for 10 kilo ohms. 10 kilo ohms. So click on it. OK. So once you click on it, it will be placed with the resistor. Yes, you can see here. Select this. Right click clockwise. Okay. Now I need a capacitors. So again, go to capacitor here. Put a value. I need a 0.1 microfarad. 0.1. So you can see here somewhere 0.1 microfarad is there or what. So 0.1 microfarad is now available here. Click on it. Place it. And you need one more here. That is of 0.47. So click on it. You'll get with another resistor. Another capacitor. Then I need 47 microfarads. So click on it. Then go for OK. Then place it like this. Okay. Now these are the list of components what I needed. Now we shall go on with the connection of this circuit diagram. So let us select this and rotate this like this. Okay. Now if you click on here, you can see a black, the arrow mark is changing with black color dot like pointer. Black color dot like pointer. So this indicates that it is ready for a connection here. You can just click on it and drag it. Okay. Then click on this resistor, drag it and connect it. Now after that, again click on this resistor, drag it and connect it here. Click on this capacitor, drag it and connect it. Click on this source terminal with this resistor and connect it. Again click here, like this. You can connect it like this. Now make sure that these all resistors are grounded to the ground part. So this is what the circuit is completed here. Now I want to connect a voltage source. Place a component here, go for a selection of sources. So I need a AC source here. So I'll click on AC power source. Then click on OK. So you'll be available with the AC power source. Then I need a VDD here. So I'll click on VDD. OK. So place a VDD here. Okay, so you can see here like this. I have connected a voltage source and input voltage source VS and a power supply VDD. So now I want to change this here with I'll just change this value here. You can just see here, double click on this written item if you want to change the value. So I want to change this value to 20 volt peak to peak. So I'll write 20 volt here. Then I want to give a frequency as 50 hertz. Then I'll give it as a 50 hertz. Then I'll place it OK. Now you can see here the value is changed to 20 VRMS 50 hertz. Then I want to change the VDD voltage to 5 to 10 volt. It was 5. Now I am going to change it to 10 volt. Click on OK. So like this, we are done with the circuit diagram. Now the leftover part here is simulation. So these are the coupling capacitor. C1, C2 are the coupling capacitor. C3 is a stray capacitor, like it removes all unwanted signals and bypasses it to ground. Okay, now then we have to place a ground connection here. I'll just take a ground, and all these components are available in a place components. So I'll just place this, and I had grounded this circuit diagram. So just check with all the values. R1 is this, R1 is nothing but it's a RG. So I'll be changing this label now here. R1 goes to RG, means it is a gate resistance. R2 changes to source resistance. So you can just double click on it, and label you can find, go to label, and there you can change the name. RS, then R3 will change to RD like this. Click on OK. Then the C3 will also change to CS capacitor, that is stray capacitance or source capacitance, what we call. Then this is R4 is nothing but load resistance. I'll name it as RL. Okay. So with this, we are done with the circuit diagram. Now we shall just check once again. This is 0.1 microfarad, 1 mega ohm. One mega ohm. Then 1 mega ohm it is. Okay. Then RD is 1 kilo ohm. RS is 330. CS is 47. Load resistance is 10 kilo ohms. And this coupling capacitor C2 is 0.047 microfarads. And the value of VDD is 10 volt. Now just go to the right side of your toolbox. There you can see multimeter is displaying. Just below that you can just go down and you can just see there is a oscilloscope. So click on the oscilloscope and you can place the oscilloscope here. Okay, now I have to connect this oscilloscope with the channel. So just take this and connect it to load resistance, across the load resistance, and negative to the ground terminal. So once you do this, okay, then go to save option. To save, if you are saving it for first time, you can save it by any name, whatever name you want. So I'll be saving it as save, go for save as. Then you can give any name here. I'll give just as JFET1, then save it. So you can see here it is being changed to JFET1, means experiment number JFET experiment number 1. So after that, just click on it and save it once again. Then now you can see here in use list. You can see here whatever the source components I have used. You can find out the list here. The components which I have used for the building of the circuit. Then just click on run. So here at the left side, you can see the green color arrow mark like symbol, which is blinking every time. Okay, so if this blink is available, then it makes a sense like your circuit is working. Okay, so then double click on this oscillator. You can find out the oscillations which are generated here. Now I need a frequency response here. So I shall set some of the values here. Okay, so at the channel A, okay, at a channel A, I'll set it as 5 volt, and at the channel B, I'll set it as 10 volt per division, and my Y position will be 0.8, and my X position will be 0, and this scale, time per division scale, I'll reduce it to 2. Okay, you can see here the frequency response which is obtained. So I'll change this to 2 microseconds. So since it is moving fast, we are unable to find out, like we are unable to get that response properly. So we have to set it properly so that I can get a response. Okay, 1 second, I'll set it once again, or else I shall show you the circuit which is already available here. So I'll show you the one. So you can see here, I have already designed this circuit. Okay, and it is open now here. So I'll just click on design one. I shall stop this and I shall click on design one. Okay, so I have already done this circuit. One second. I think it is buffering. The screen is visible to everyone. The screen is visible, right?
Yes, sir, visible.
Okay. So I'll just run this circuit, which is already prepared. You can see here, I am running this. Yes, you can see here now the frequency response. The red color, what you are getting this as a frequency response. So it all depends on the setting of the channels again. So you can just observe here the output, the red color, that is nothing but a frequency response what you are getting. So this is what the output for the first circuit type. So this you'll come to know only when you practice with the tool. So the adjustment of CRO oscilloscope is very important again here. So whoever can install this software online, please try to install onto your laptops or onto your system and start practicing here. So even this is also correct, but here we have to adjust the CRO. So even we are getting the output for this, the circuit what I have designed, but the thing is that I have to adjust the scales here. Scales, so I'll adjust it 1 second. So it is 2 microsecond time per base, and here I'll go for 5 volt per division, and let this will be 10 volt per division. So you have any doubts here, you can ask me.
Hello, sir.
So like this, you can set the oscilloscope values and you can get the values here. So this kind of value will be obtained. So this is what the first experiment of part A. Okay. So I shall close this. I'll go for close all. If you want to make any changes, you can make it yes, otherwise no. Then everything will go disappear here. Then I'll start with the new experiment, that is one more experiment from part B. So part B, I have a Hartley oscillator. So this Hartley oscillator and a RC phase shift and Hartley oscillator. So this is the circuit diagram here. I just copy this and I'll paste here. So you can see here there is a circuit diagram now like this. So what is the aim of this experiment? The aim of this experiment is to simulate the RC phase shift and a Hartley oscillator to observe the output. So aim here is so what is the aim of this experiment? To simulate RC phase shift oscillator and a Hartley oscillator and observe the output. So let us move on with the first one, that is RC phase shift oscillator. So to build the circuit of a RC phase shift oscillator, I need five capacitors C1, C2, C3, C4, C5 capacitor and 6 resistor values with a transistor BC 107 BP. So I'll just move on here and I'll start placing the components. So first thing is I'll place the transistor here. Transistor, I'll place BC. 1 second. I'll just check the number of that transistor. It is BC 107. So BC 107. I think it's not available here. You can just check here somewhere. BJT, you can check here. Yes, it's a BJT. So BC 107 BP is available here. You can just click here and place this transistor. Then go for resistor. Resistors, how many resistors we need? Okay, so we need a resistor here. So just click on OK, place it, click on OK, place it. Again, I need total 6 resistance. I'll be clicking all the 6 resistance. Okay. Okay, fine. Now all the 6 resistance are available here. Then we'll see the connection, how the connection is. So first I'll connect R1, R2, R3. Okay. So I'll move this here, rotate this clockwise. I'll move this here, rotate this clockwise. So I need one more resistance. I'll rotate this clockwise. Okay. So all these resistance are. So then I need a capacitors here. I'll place a capacitor. So I need total 5 capacitors. 3, 4 and 5. Okay, so 5 capacitors. Now then just go on connecting them. So I'm connecting here all the resistance. Now all these 3 resistance are connected to a emitter. I'll rotate this clockwise and I'll place this resistance here. Connect this. Connect this resistance like this. Rotate this resistance also clockwise. It's a voltage divider circuit. Now I'll be connecting. So you can see here in the circuit diagram, I have connected all this resistance here. So just go on connecting like this. Okay, and we'll see one more, this capacitor. Rotate this clockwise. Connect this. Okay, so like this, I have connected all these components now. One thing is I have to connect this capacitor here now. I'll just rotate this capacitor and I'll connect this here like this. Okay. Now I need an oscilloscope, 4-channel oscilloscope. I'll connect now. One is I'll connect this like this, and so one point I'll take from this. So similarly, I'll take all this and I'll connect here. So you can notice I have connected here. Yes. So now this circuit is complete here. You can check with anything is left over. So yes, I have to connect the one more part here. So all this, that is ground. So I'll be connecting this ground here. Okay. So this ground to, yes, this ground value I have to, the ground of this CRO I have to connect it. So now this is over. So we'll just have a feedback connection here. So I have just connected a feedback resistor. Okay. Yes. Now I have to connect a VDD source. Or VCC, that is, I'll connect here. Now I have to change all the values here. So all these C1, C2 are 10 nanofarad capacitor. You can see here in the value 10 nano. Okay. Again, this is 10 nano here, nanofarad. Okay. Change all this component value. If you are not placing correct value component, then you won't get any oscillations. So all these resistance values are 4.7 K. 4.7 K kilo ohms. So I'll change here 4.7 kilo ohms. So this also I'll change it to 4.7 kilo ohms. Okay. Then this is 47 kilo ohms. 47 kilo ohms. And one more resistance is there. This is 10K. And this is 680 ohms. 680 ohms. 680 ohms. This is 22 microfarads. Okay. Then this resistance is 2.2 kilo ohms. 2.2 kilo ohms. Then last capacitor value is 1 microfarad. 1 microfarad. So it's okay now. So you can check here. One more value is left, that is VCC. I'll change it to 20 volt. So with this, I have placed all the components and I have connected all the components. Now we shall see the output. So I'll save this as RC oscillator. 1 second. Save as RC OSC 1. So I'll save this as RC OSC 1. Save this once again and start running this. So if you click on this, you'll find the output. So like this. So you are getting oscillations here. Okay. So for you, I'll show what I have already done here. So this is design 2. I have already done. Just stop it. Go for design 2, and I'll run this. So once I run this, you can see here the oscillations are generating. So this is how we are done with the oscillator. So you can even check for all the channels here. Even for channel C, I am getting the oscillation. Channel B, I am getting the oscillation. Channel A, I am getting the oscillations. I hope the oscillations are visible. Okay. So this is how we have to prepare for RC phase shift oscillator. So you have any doubts here, you can ask me.